Hello everyone, welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we will discuss about the Power BI line chart formatting. And in the previous video we have learned what is date hierarchy and how to work with the drill through options in the Power BI line chart. These are the headings that we are going to cover in this video. First we will see Power BI line chart formatting, and then we will see about the visual settings and general settings under the Power BI line chart formatting. So let's begin. What is Power BI line chart formatting? Formatting the line chart contains altering the title text, title position, data labels, tooltip, and the line colors, etc. Under the Power BI line chart formatting, there are two tabs presented. One is formatting line chart visual settings and another one is formatting the line chart general settings. Visual and general, these are the two things presented under the format options in the line chart. So now we will see how to format the line chart. Open the Power BI desktop and load the data using the get data option. Here I have already loaded the sales data table and select the line chart. In this example, I am going to display the sales value by month. Here, so in that x-axis, drag and drop the order date and choose the month option here. You can see it displays the sales by month value. Now select the line chart visual. Here you can see format your visual options. And once I click the format options, there are two tabs that are presented. One is visual tab and the other one is general tab. First we will see how to format the line chart visual. So these are the different options that are presented under the visual settings. Now here you can see by default the x-axis value is enabled. If you disable it, here you cannot see the x-axis value. So enable it so that you can view the x-axis values. Expand the x-axis and here you can see the type as categorical. Under values, we can change the font of that data value, color of the text, and we can also choose different fonts, and we can also increase the font size. Here you can see it is increasing based on the selection, and we can also change the font color to purple. Here you can see the x-axis value has been changed to purple, and we can also increase the max area height, and if you want to enable the concatenate labels, we can enable it, else we can disable it. By default it will be enabled. And the other option is title. You can see by default the title is also enabled. When you disable it, in the x-axis field you cannot see the month name. So enable it so that you can able to view the title here in the x-axis field. We can also add manually the title text. Here you can see I have added the manually a sales month so that in the x-axis it is displaying as sales month. Under style option you can see there is only one option to show the title only, and we can also change the font, and we can also increase the font size here as well as the font color. In this example I am going to choose blue color so that here you can see my title color for the x-axis has been changed. If you want to reset the values, click on the reset to default values so that the line chart visual will be displayed as default. So in this case I am going to click reset to default option so that it will be displayed by as it is, and I am going to just increase the font size. Now in the same way we will see for the y-axis. Here you can see by default it will be enabled. Click on this. Here you cannot see the y-axis data values. So enable it. Expand the y-axis. Here you can set the range. By default the minimum is and maximum value are set to auto. And when you enable the logarithmic scale, in that case it will be the line chart visual will be changed to the logarithmic scale. So I am not going to change it into the logarithmic scale. Under values you can see the font option and font color, and we can also see the display units and the values, decimal places, and switch axis position. We can choose different font as per our wish. We can also increase the font size. We can change the color of the font. Here you can see the font color has been changed. If I am going to choose any other color, it will be displayed on the selected color, and display units by default it will be in the auto mode. If it is none, here you can see the value has been displaying by default. And if I want to show it in thousands, here you can see it is displaying 0k, 50k, 100k and 150k. In the same way, million, billion and trillions option is also there. And we can also display the decimal places, and we can have another option to switch the axis position. When you enable it, here you can see the position has been changed to the right side from the left side. I'm not going to enable this switch axis position, so I'm going to disable it. In the same way, expand the title option. Here you can see the sales is presented. When you disable it, you cannot see the sales value in the y-axis. So enable the title option. Here you can provide the title text manually, so that here you can see it is displaying the title text which I have provided here. So in this case, when you expand this style option, you can see show title only, show unit only, show both. In that case, I'm going to give show both options, so that it will be display the title text as well as the display units option. Here you can see this is the title text and this is the display unit options. And I'm going to increase the font size. Here also we can change the font as per the wish, and we can also change the font color. Here you can see the font color has been changed for the y-axis, title and the display units. If you want to remove all the changes, you can simply select reset to default option, so that it will be removed. Here you can see I have selected the reset to default option, so that the changes that I have done has been removed. I'm going to just increase the font size here. So this is how we can format the x-axis and y-axis in the line chart. So if we have secondary y-axis, in that case it will be enabled, else it will be disabled. So here you can see I have only x-axis and y-axis. I don't have the secondary axis data field, so it is not enabled here. In the same way, you can see the legend option and the small multiples has been disabled. Just because here you can see the legend and small multiples has no data in the field section, and that is why it is disabled. Now I will show you how to enable the legend and the small multiple. Simply add the data fields here. In the legend, I am going to add the customer location. Here you can see the line chart is displaying the sales by month as well as the customer location. Now to format this line chart, go to format your visual. Under visual settings, you can see now the legend option has been enabled. Expand it. Here you can see the options, and the position is, we can choose like top left, top center and top. I'm going to choose it as top center. Here you can see the position has been changed to center, and we can also choose the style of the markers or lines and marker. I'm going to leave it as marker. If you want to display lines and markers, here you can see it is displaying as the lines and the markers as well. Position and style are the two options presented under the legend session. And the text, as usual, we can change the font style, font size we can increase, and we can also choose the color of the text. Here you can see the text color has been changed to purple. In the same way, by default the title will be enabled. If you want to disable it, you can disable it. Here you cannot see the title now. In this case, I am going to enable the title. You can see the title. And to remove all the changes that we done now, simply select reset to default option, so that the changes will be removed. This is how we can use the legend format section in the line chart. Now I will show you how to format the small multiples. Here there is no data fields, so I am just going to add the product name here. Here you can see it displays the sales by product name. Here you can see it splits the product name. So the small multiples usually gives the report like this, and in the format visual you can see now the small multiples has been enabled, and here you can see the rows and column option under layout. Here by default it is like 2 rows. We can also decrease the row count, and we can also increase the row count. Here you can see 3 rows are presented and columns by default it is 2. We can also make it as 3 columns. Here you can see it is changing based on the selection of the layout. We can also choose the borders. Here you can see under grid lines there are horizontal and vertical option. We can select only horizontal or vertical and we can also choose none option here. Here you can see that it displays no grid lines. So in this case I am going to split it as a horizontal and vertical. When you choose none option you cannot see the line style and line color. So when you select the horizontal and vertical option, here you can see the line style is dashed, solid and dotted. These are the 3 different options presented. We can also change the line color from black to any other color. In this case I am going to choose dark blue. Here you can see the line color has been changed. And line width also we can increase it. In the same way we can see the title option presented here. By default it will be enabled. When you disable it you cannot see the title of the products. So enable it so that you can able to view the product happened on the selected. For that also we can choose the position like top position or bottom position. If you select bottom position, the product name will be displayed down. In the same way we can choose the font style and size and also the font color for the product title, and we can also choose the alignment. In this case if I am going to choose the center alignment, it will be look like this. And background also we can choose the background color. If I am going to select the gray color, here you can see my background color has been changed. To remove all these changes, we can simply select reset to default option so that the changes will be removed. Here you can see once I click the reset to default option, the changes has been removed. This is how we can format the small multiples section. Now expand the grid lines. Here you can see the horizontal, and by default there are 3 options presented for style. One is solid, another one is dashed and the third one is dotted. And here you can see the color option and you can increase the width so that the grid lines will be visible here. Now reset to the default. I am going to remove the small multiples so that it will display the sales only by month. And here you can see the next one is zoom slider. When you enable it, here in the y-axis you can see the zoom slider is presented, and we can also enable the slider labels and the slider tooltip as well. In this case it will be repeated, so I am going to disable this and I am going to reset to the default option so that the changes will be removed. And here you can see the line options. Here you can see under shape there are 3 things. One is line style, another one is joint type, and the stroke width and the step layout. Here you can see the by default it is solid line. If I want to display the lines in dashed, in that case here you can see the line is displaying in the dash style, and the stroke width is 3 by default. I can also increase the stroke width or decrease the stroke width, and by default the joint type is round. We can also change the color of the line by expanding the color, and we can choose the purple line. Here you can see the line color has been changed. So when you enable show all option, here you can see it displays the month names. So based on the month name we can choose the color. Here you can see the round markers are presented for the selected months. This is how we can change the color of the line in the line chart, and in this case I am going to reset it to the default mode. Click on the reset to default option so that the lines will be displayed by default. Here you can see the markers are disabled by default. When you enable it, you can see the markers are presented for each month. And expand this markers option. Here you can see the shapes of the markers. By default it will be in the round mode. We can also choose this type of that shape, and we can also increase and decrease the size. We can also change the color. Here you can see the marker color has been changed. Now reset to default option, and the next one is data labels. By default the data labels also disabled. Enable the data label. Expand the data label option. Here you can see once the data label has been enabled, by default it is displaying the data values under each lines. So the position by default it will be auto. We can choose above or under. In this case I am going to choose above, and values you can see we can change the font style, font size and the font color. Font color I am going to choose pink, and display unit by default it is auto. We can choose based on the data. So in this case I am going to choose the thousands. So the data will be displayed in the 1000 values. And background if we enable, you can see the background has been enabled. And the background color we can choose the blue, and we can also increase the transparency here and choose gray. Here you can see the background color has been displayed as gray and the data value has been displayed in the pink color. Now I am going to reset to default option. This is how to work with the data labels and expand the series label. When you enable it, here you can see it displays the sales value, and the options width is auto by default, and the series position is right here. If you want to make it as a left position, simply select left. Here you can see this position came to the left. In the same way, we can also change the font style, size and the font color, series color. I'm going to choose purple, and I'm going to increase the font size here. Here you can see the font size has been increased and the font color has been changed. We can also enable the background color, and we can enable the background option and choose the background color and transparency. We can also have reset to default option so that the changes will be removed. So these are the different options that are presented under the visual settings to format a line chart in Power BI report. Now we will see how to format the line chart in general settings. So these are the different options that are presented under the general settings. Now we will see one by one. Expand the properties option. Here you can see the size option where the height and width is presented and the position is also presented. We can increase or decrease the height and width of the line chart here. And the position, we can choose the horizontal position and vertical position. And when you expand the advanced option, you can see here the responsive manner is enabled by default. So these are the three different options that are present under properties. And here you can see the title option. When you disable it, you cannot view the title here. When you enable it, you can view the title of the line chart here by like sales by month. We can also add manually if you want to display the text manually. We can also choose the heading tag here. By default, it is displaying in the header tag 3. If I want to display in the header tag 4, it changes accordingly. In the same way, we can change the font style, font size and the font colors. There also, if I am going to change the font color to purple, here you can see the color has been changed, and background color also we can choose. Here you can see the background color has been changed, and here you can see the alignment. In this case I am going to choose the center alignment so that the title will be displayed in center. We can also enable the text wrap option here. Now I am going to reset these changes here, and I am going to choose only the alignment. Now expand the effects option. Here you can see by default the background mode is enabled. We can change the color of the line chart background. Here you can see when I change the color has been changed. We can also enable the visual border and shadow if we want, or if needed. When we expand shadow, here you can see it displays the shadow here. Now click reset to default option, and by default the header icons will be enabled. If you disable it, you cannot see the header icons. Expand the header icons and change the background color here. Here you can see the background color has been changed. In the same way, we can change color for other things as well. These are the icons that are presented. I am going to reset to default the header icons as well. And tooltips, by default it will be enabled so that when you hover it, you can view the data in the tooltip. Here you can see the type as report page and the page in auto. And in the same way, when you expand the text option, you can change the font style, size and font color, label color as well. In this case I am going to change the label color and the value color as blue. So when you hover it, you can see my label color and my value has been changed. In the same way, if I want to change the background color for the tooltip option, here you can see my background color has also be changed, and we can also increase or decrease the transparency, and we can also provide the alternative text as well. Now click reset to default option so that it will be display the values by default, and alternative text also we can provide it if needed. So these are the different options that are presented under the general settings to format the line chart in a Power BI report. With this we came to the end of this video, and I hope you have learned how to format the line chart in Power BI and what are the different options that are presented under the visual settings and the general settings to format a line chart visual in a Power BI report. Thanks for watching this video, and these are the free video tutorials that are presented in our YouTube channel. You can check it out, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you.